Hello, everybody. How's it feeling? What do you think? Mid-May, May 15th. You liking this? Just feeling good? You've got just 1 week left of new assignments in math. We'll get right to this so that hopefully I can make a video that's less than 10 minutes long. Here we go. Solving problems involving surface area. Today we're talking about the area. Whenever you mention area, you're only talking about a 2D figure. Square, circle, triangle, maybe rectangle, trapezoid. Area means it's only got 2 dimensions on it. And the surface area means the surfaces of the item. So for example, how many surfaces are there on this box? How many surfaces are we trying to do? So today's assignment is simply just finding the area of the surface of an item. So you're going to be putting a whole bunch of different shapes together to find the area. So for example, on this one, painting the outside of this box, how many surfaces are there? Did you say 6? There's 6 surfaces. Can you see the 6? There's one here, and then there's one on the other side of that. So that's the second one. And then there's this one right here. We can call this maybe the front. That's the third. And then there's the same thing on the back. That's the fourth surface. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then on this side, you can't really see it, but there's a surface there. That's the fifth surface. And then right here, this is the sixth surface. And the reason I say that, the reason I go about that way is so you can see what are the surfaces that it's going to be. If I were to open this up and kind of lay it out flat, you'd have the top and the front and the back and the bottom. And then off on the side here, here's the fifth one and the sixth one. That's one way to lay it all out. And then you can see, oh, it looks like I'm going to be doing 6 different rectangles, finding the areas of 6 different rectangles and then adding it all together. And that's what the action of today is. On this bookwork, and don't feel like you have to do all the bookwork, but just to understand the concept, surface area, and be able to work out a couple surface areas. They get pretty hard here in just a few minutes. So just as long as you understand what the surface area is. Do you know how to find the area of a square? It's just a side times a side. Really, because it's a special kind of rectangle. The area of a rectangle, what's that? Length times width, or width times height, or whatever 2 dimensions a rectangle is. Let's say you've got a rectangle, it's like that, and someone says that this is the base and that's the height. Well, okay, base times height, you just times the 2 sides together. How do you find the area of a triangle? What's the area of a triangle? You have to know these things to be able to do surface area, because the surfaces are going to be different shapes. The area of a triangle is 1/2 times whatever its base is times whatever its height is. 1/2 base times height. And then just if you're an honors student, just if you're level 4 and you're getting straight A's all the way across, what's the area of a circle? Pi r squared. Now the reason we do that is because if I remember at the end of this, there's going to be an honors topic to go over to try to figure out if you can understand what that one is. Okay, if you know those areas, you can work through the examples that go through on each of these pages. The areas of this, they want to find the area of this, the surface area. Well, you can see, let's see, we can cut it up into this rectangle. We can cut it up into then this rectangle right here, and then right here, this part, we can cut this part up into a triangle. Basically, you're cutting these shapes into knowable parts. How do you find the area in this triad? Well, first of all, you find the area of this rectangle and then the area of this triangle. You can fill these in how you would, but the area of this rectangle would be 5 times 6. 5 times. And the area of this triangle, you've got to figure out what the base and the height is. Well, the height is 6. And how far across is it? Well, again, these multi-step problems ask you, it's not 9 and it's not 5. But if you got to 5 and then to 9, that means this would be 4. So 5 times 6 gives you the area of that rectangle, and the area of this triangle is 1/2 of 1/2 times 6 times 4. You'd add those together, you can put the numbers in, you can see if you get the same thing that the answer key does. Okay, this one's pretty brutal because when you open this up, you've got a rectangle here, rectangle here, rectangle. Well, what's the size of this triangle? They're kind of telling you right here that this triangle up top you kind of cut this off. You can see it's not 20 high, it's 12, let's see, 8 high, the 12 is over here. And then because this is 12, that goes to 8 high right there. Trying to map these out and get these shapes into shapes that you can find the area of is probably the hardest part of these problems. And then you can see down here, they've added up the area of all those different shapes. Okay, right here, this one is if you open up this box, you get this item right here. And this composite figure, the reason they've shown you this one is because it's like a square pyramid opened up. And so you'd open up that square pyramid. So on this try it, for example, let's see, you want to paint the front and the back. So this shape right here, this front, if I cut it off right here, I've got a triangle and this rectangle. So the rectangle is 11 times 12. And then this triangle, if that goes up to 15, that means the height is 3 and the base is 12. So 12 times 3, and then you take half of that for a triangle. You have this and this, you add them together, and that is the surface area of the front. And then because they want the back as well, you times that number by 2 to get the area of the back. Once you have all of that, how many cans of paint do you need? Because it's 32 square feet for every can of paint. So you have to divide it into the 32. But again, the whole point of this is just understanding the surface area is just cutting the shapes into knowable parts. You can try whichever of these you want to try to make sure you understand the concept. On this one, this figure, you can cut it up into knowable parts right there. You can find the area of that rectangle. Right here, find the area of this rectangle, and then find the area of this triangle. So if this is 4 times 9, this one right here is 9 times 8. This triangle is 1/2 the base, which is 9, times the height, which is 5. Then you add those 3 together. The surface area of this prism, just remember there's 6 faces on that prism. There's 6 planes on that. We've got the 8 times 4 plane on the bottom and top, the 15 times 4 plane on this side, the 15 times 8 plane on this side with the back, and then you take the double of each of those, you'll have it set. Should I do one of these? I think if I do one of these, I might be taking too much time in this video. On this one, what's the surface area of this rectangular hexagon prism? That's going to be kind of hard taking that hexagon and cutting it up into pieces. Higher order thinking, give it a shot, but it matches what I was going to give you as an honor student, which is this. What if you had a cylinder? What are the 3 shapes that you'd have to find the surface area of a cylinder? Kind of giving you 2 of them, the circles, but what would this other shape in here be if you were to kind of wrap it up and fold it open? What would that be? Kind of an honors level problem and question to ask. As long as you know on surface area that you find the areas of the different shapes, and here's the equations for the different shapes, and then add them all together, you know how to find the surface area of something. Try 1 or 2 of these, check them with the answer key, and you're ready for tomorrow's assignment that I'll talk to you about then. Goodbye.